Hello, and welcome to Pure Bad Taste. You can see here my bestest of friends, which is of course Rory's ass. I mean, no, not anymore. Not no something that resembles a face, and then of course James's face. Hello guys, how you doing?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
I don't feel so good, Mister
Oh, buddy.
Stark.
Don't. You
No, I
shut up,
actually.
Peter.
I actually haven't streamed before, but I would even like say that like can we do it not today? But then I realized like I don't have time in any other like time slot, and then I like we
Wait,
come
did
on.
we just lose Roddy
Yeah,
there?
we lost already.
God damn it,
And
Roddy.
also, okay,
Does that
so
mean the setting now looks messed up? Oh wait, no, he's
now
coming
we are back.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would not.
Have-
I would say like could we postpone, but now like I felt bad because we postponed it twice now.
We've kind
in
of
a row.
postponed for technically 3.
Yeah, and then like it
It's
felt
like
that
it's been a month. It's been about a month.
Yeah, so I was thinking like if we do it like one more time, like we are not doing it anymore. So I was like, yeah, we need to do it. We need to do it.
But at the same time, I appreciate that. Thank you for being understanding for my thing. Totally get what was happening with you, Roddy, and hope everything's good with the family now. And I know, but Martin, for the opportunities and your busyness, my God, applause to you, seriously. And so I thank you for having the time to do this. And nice to see all the lovely viewers, or post viewers, because I know there's a few people listening to watch this after us. I mean, we may not have live ones, but we usually have folk that watch this afterwards.
Okay.
Which is cool. Which I think we do.
Yeah.
Depend. I'm just loading up the Twitch just now, just so I can kind of keep an eye on things. You know, boost the viewing.
Yeah. Now I'm actually like trying to communicate with my designer as well, and it's kind of difficult to think in Czech right now. Yep, no problem. I will just write. He speaks English. It's okay. Okay. Now, so Roddy, I like noticed that you are not really that talkative right now. Can you tell us something? What can you share with us?
Oh God, I've actually been
Okay, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, hold on one moment, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk now?
Yes, Dad.
Oh, perfect.
Yay! There we go. That's fine.
Well, I was saying, maybe I'm not so talkative because I've been let down rather recently.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. It's a tough time. You see, Apex Legends Season 9 happened.
Of course.
You fucking prick!
Yeah. Like I was expecting,
Yeah,
like
okay.
I always expect
okay.
something from Roddy, like that he will betray us in some way, you know, deceive us. I would even say. So I'm not surprised at my.
Roderick Mackenzie, the great deceiver.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The very-
I've been looking onto it, and it's been difficult because although you've got this new thing of like there's a bow and arrow in now, and it's fucking a one-shot kill kind of contraption, and a new character that can fly all over the place, you can't actually log into the game because the servers have turned shitehouse.
Oh,
Because
that's
of him?
concerning.
Because of him, because the new character, or is it her?
Now, they've also released a badge that says Stop Asian Hate, and the new character is Asian, and the servers just happened to crash. Like, I don't want to draw too many conclusions.
So you started Asian hate.
I started the Stop, quotation marks, Asian Hate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, seriously, I think it's just the amount of people logging in now is just way overbearing on the systems that they have. Even though
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of moving away from the Battle Royale aspect. I know Battle Royale really fucks people off sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But for Apex Legends it works. But I like that the company seem to be phasing out of Battle Royale into something different. So they've got this new thing called Arenas. 1 team versus 1 team of 3 people.
Okay.
Far more intense. They have a system kind of similar to what Call of Duty was doing with you spend these white credits to build up your weaponry and armor for the round. Great idea. You add stakes, you add rewards for skills, and you get to level up whatever. But it's EA, man. So like they've already brought out the legacy trailer for all the stuff that you could have if you just buy the game again.
Mhm.
And here I can play that.
So you're buying again?
Of course I am.
You're that bitch. Say it that you're that bitch. Okay, he's not going to.
It's
say
why
it,
at
but
the
we
end of
know
this
it.
podcast, you too can get some deals from Apex by putting in pure bad taste into the checkout, and you'll receive sweet fuck all. Really, seriously, dude.
You really don't need more than that. It's just like the whole thing is meant to be like the cosmetics, and yeah, they're nice, but I'm not spending $20 on one skin kind of thing, you know? There's been a lot of complaints about that. They were actually doing a thing on the Apex Reddit where they were comparing the Call of Duty $20 worth of stuff versus the Apex $20 worth of stuff. Apex was one skin, recolored for a recolored skin that already existed. Call of Duty actually had more value.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's EA, man.
Opponents
Like, we're all
as
seeing the
crafty-
news come out
Opponents as
recently.
crafty Kitsune Rampart and
Who's
closing
playing it?
Bone Devotion.
Looking
What's
for me?
What?
Terrorize
Oh, right,
your
the
enemies as
thingamabob
demon
room.
king with the
Trying
way
to
of
stop
the
it, but
serpent's
it doesn't listen. Oh, it listened. Okay.
It really just wants us to buy that Legacy Battle Pass. Yeah, it's kind of a thing we're all becoming fairly aware of now. Like, Microsoft are being extremely open now about the selling the consoles at a loss. Like, you guys been reading about that too?
I haven't been, but I always assume it with new console.
Well, basically, the whole point being that they sell the console systems at a loss because you can't really make money on them. The only guys who have made any kind of money off of that are Nintendo, where they just make a kind of profitable machine, and that's like, yeah, I expected that.
That's usually how it goes. Like with most of the hardware, it's just sold.
Most of the
at a
hardware,
loss.
yeah, and then they make up all their costs with game sales and services.
I think it usually gets profitable in like 3 years, because the hardware that it's made from it's like get cheaper. But right now, I mean, like especially right now with this shortage of a lot of hardware, because like it's not just graphics, but it's also like a lot of different chips. So it's getting basically like so expensive to buy hardware that it must be like higher and higher cost. It
Yeah,
must
no
be fun.
doubt. But there's even rumors of like game developers getting a better deal from doing games via PC and Microsoft, saying that the usual ratio of profit sharing, I think it's like 70-30 now, but there was threats of it being 88-12, which would be tremendous for the people who actually make the games. That'd be great for indie developers as well.
Yeah.
They could really make bank on that, but that's like, I don't think that's happening now because Bill's about to be into a very expensive divorce.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, Bill actually doesn't like own much of Microsoft, so I don't think that he will really influence these things.
He's still
Both
on
of
the
them are-
board.
Like, but-
He's still on the board.
Yeah, but he's like massively invested from Microsoft, like massively.
Yeah, as in, plus him and her have basically done all kinds of things for charity and all that. They both have their own sets of money and trusts.
Yeah.
There's nothing really each other wants. At this point, it's not working anymore.
Basically,
It's
I
not-
take
it's
any
not a
games.
death-
Like, if they are single, like I take Bill or Melinda. I don't really care.
Thing is now, it's well, two things. One, this isn't a Jeff Bezos situation because goddamn, she got paid and good for her.
Mhm.
And two, I'm still remembering the last time when you ever talked about Bill Gates, about over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Gates? That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yep. I know. That was from the YouTube partnership. That was at the time a really exclusive thing to have.
It was, before they sold out.
I mean, like I mean, like,
Nothing
man,
to do with hard
that's the
work.
thing. Like, but that's the thing. I seen it at the time, but like the way that it's actually bad that you can like anyone can now earn money and like don't need to fill stupid like basically motivational letter. That's ridiculous. And then I like realized that was actually really stupid gatekeeping. Like at the end, like you are not able to earn money unless you basically have functioning channel, like really functioning. Like so it means that it was pointless pretty much. You know, like it was even like do you know the YouTube channel? It's called Nitpicks, and it's mostly about reviews of Netflix and like other streaming services, movies and stuff. And but they're like
Nothing I know
sometimes in these like they're British and you are on the same island, so I assume that you know each other. So
We do, but it's terrible of you to assume.
yeah. So but sometimes they made like in the video there was a weird tangent, like absolutely fucking ridiculous tangent, and like at one point he was talking about Pixar or something, and how they were like how he is his grandfather was making videos on YouTube as well, and it was the weird tangent started, and it was like until they stopped monetization of the small channel, and suddenly his grandfather couldn't get his 1.5 pounds every month that he depended so much on. And like
Okay.
and he was talking about how he was making he's making movie reviews, but his grandfather was making unboxing videos, and then he came into the like his flat at one point, and he found him frozen there over a loot box that he was just like unboxing, and he was really sad about that, but he like seen that he died happy doing what he loved. It's like it was like in the middle of the review this like weird tangent about like not monetizing small channels with 150 pound. Yeah. So it's like that's kind of funny. But that was like he was actually addressing exactly this. Like, if you have such a small channel, you are not earning any significant money anyway. Like, if you like, I mean, it's great to earn the first like £1, or you know, like the first $1 or whatever. But at the end, like AdSense will pay you out only if you earn like 60, which means that like if you have a channel that earns £1 a month, like you won't see it for 5 years. Like that's, you know, it's like it doesn't even make sense to monetize these small channels. So like as I said, like you don't need to be gate-kept by the system of motivational ladder. You like the gatekeeping of the system itself basically is enough.
I'm kind of intrigued with how everything on YouTube, how it's all kind of been for the last decade or so. And a part of me is like, I don't know if you'd ever reported on this, Martin. I keep thinking you did, but remember the days of reply girls and shit like that?
I mean, yeah. I personally knew the biggest reply girl. So yeah, I know.
What? Well, as in the reply girl?
Yeah, the reply girl.
Oh,
that was a girlfriend. There was a girlfriend of Life in a Tent. The fucking asshole that I hated.
Oh shit! Life in a Tent. My God, I've not heard that name in years.
So yeah, I know about it. I was like heavily involved in this drama, like heavily. And we actually that's why I know Chris O'Neill. You know, One.
Oh God, yeah, ODOG.
Yeah, because like we were on the same side in that fight, so we basically like gathered info together and like that's.
Damn you and your famous YouTube friends, Martin.
I mean, like, yeah, my YouTube friends that I haven't been talking to for 10 years. Yeah, like that, them.
Well, it's also you're gonna basically, hey, remember me? It's like, no.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, even if someone would remember me that way, like, there's no connection at the end. You know, that's like the biggest, problem with all these things. Like, you know, that I have Skype or Tomska, and I spoke to him basically twice because I needed, like, I actually asked him because the one organization in Czech Republic wanted to invite some foreign YouTubers. So I spoke to him about that, but nothing came out of it. So at the end, like, this contact is basically dead. Like, for me, it's like most of these contacts are dead.
I've had that kind of as well, because I've done the comedy thing and got around the place in Scotland. I've managed to meet a bunch of British comedians who have been on the up and up, and some who just fizzled out real fucking fast. But there's one guy that I know who actually did make it, talented, good. There's some things against him, but they're kind of whatever. But I remember I did some gigs with him. He wanted to join the group, but then he had to get down to London, and that turned out to be the making of him. All well and good.
Good for him. Yeah, good for him.
Like, he's on the circuit now in all the television. But I remember a couple of years ago, I was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and I was just having such a bad time finding any kind of good show to go to. Everything was so fucking shit. Like, oh my fucking God. This is meant to be like the cultural center of this fucking country, and not one of you cunts has shown up with anything. You have shown up with mediocrity at best. The rest of you are such cunts. And like, what? Why am I going to a show where a woman is trying to act quirky and kooky, and it's like, oh, I didn't have an emotional breakdown. I had a breakthrough. Like, no, you didn't. You're still having it now. You suck. You suck. The reason you're having an emotional breakdown is because you suck. I don't know why I gave you £5 for the show. You seem nice outside. I realize now that wasn't the case. And I was just having like a breakdown at the Channel 4 what's the thing? Cowgate comedy thing?
Oh, the Udder something.
Yes, Underbelly.
Underbelly. That was it.
I was having a big angry breakdown there. I was like, what the fuck? I had a beer in my hand, but I was still sloshing it like some rampaging wanker. I was like, why the fuck did I spend any money whatsoever? They have nothing. They have nothing. And then I saw my pal, who I knew was a comedian, and I was just like,
oh no,
bright, shining beacon of hope. And I just went over. I was like, I know you probably don't remember me. It's been a while. I was like, Roddy, mate, yeah, I remember you. Like, yeah, sure. What the fuck? I was like, oh. Yeah. I said, how are you doing? He went, I'm doing good. Things have been going well in London, up here now. I went, great. Are you doing a show? He went, yeah, I'm doing a show. I said, I'm doing it with a couple of mates. Do you want to come along? I went, yep. I went along with him. And it was great. Like, he did a really good job. He was like the headliner, but he wasn't even the best comedian. I think, I really wish I could remember the girl's name, but she did if you know me, you'll know how much I love dark shit. Like, if you can make fun of the most awful things that happen to you. And like, one of them, she's just talking about her abortion. And she's kind of handling it like matter-of-factly. She's like, yeah, I've accepted it happened. She goes, people tell you there are some leftover residual effects from it. And, there are, emotional, psychological, there are effects, Whenever I hear my flatmates hoovering, I get nostalgic.
Oh, dude! Hopefully, we're not going to lose a few viewers from this. And to reiterate, he's quoting someone in comedy, not us.
I was the only one laughing. There's a big hall of people, but everyone was just very much like, and I was the only one laughing, like,
but that's. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the thing. Like, even if someone is like way more famous than you, like people, yeah, of course, like people will remember you. Like people, like usually the same way as I like remember some people that met me, and I like basically like spend half a day with them on some kind of event. Like of course I remember these people. Like when I meet them, and like say, yeah, you're the guy who like went there, or like I remember. But the thing is that. It's a different thing, like to meet them again, and then if you like assume friendship there, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, of course, like Roddy can meet the guy, and maybe he will meet him next time, and they can hang out again. But if he would be like writing him like, how you doing? So what's like that would be kind of too much. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like
we're not chummy. Is
Yeah.
the thing. We're not like
No.
pals or anything. But I know him. I know he's
Yeah.
cool. And apparently, I made enough impression that he's like, oh, this guy's alright.
It's a good acquaintanceship, which is never a bad thing, in all
Of course.
honesty.
But you always have that kind of impression of someone. Like you do tend to know when people don't like you, and you can kind of be thrown back to like, what the fuck happened? And then you'll remember like, I think quite often if someone doesn't like me, it's because I said something wrong calling them out. So like I have been out with people and I'm like, you are a bit of a cunt when you're drunk. And that's been enough for them to write me off entirely, even though I was 100% right. It's like,
I'm still-
you're a huge
I'm still-
loser. You know that you are. Don't
Oh
come
god
at me,
damn it,
Donald.
Roddy. I'm still trying to remember, did I discuss the time at one time at the Fringe I was almost in a fight? Did I talk about that here?
Now, when you say almost in a fight, is this where...
You know the situation. You were like you were with the group, but you know the thing that happened because it was the one time I performed with you guys at the Fringe.
Yeah.
No. Basically, I remember I was hanging out with Chris Steven. We were advertised. I think we were just walking around, and then one of the guys that formed before us, we were in that bit under the bridge in North Silver Street.
Yep.
I just remember he was saying, well, advertising the show, and I'm basically just going, "Oh, hey, buddy, how's it going?" It's like, yeah, you going to see a show? No, I've seen it already. I'm actually with Wilder and Prepared, where we perform after you. Oh, yeah. And arrogant. He's kind of arrogantly going, and what do you guys do? I'm basically going, better than you did yesterday. Jokingly, like, because in most of the comedy groups we know, we tend to just shit take after each other. It's just how it goes. But no, he's actually pretty unhappy about it and holding me against the fucking wall. Because I basically offended him.
Well, we did take his... I think if it's the same guy, it's...
Oh
I think we
yeah,
mentioned
like you
Yeah.
were saying that, like you were actually telling the story here. Yeah, I remember.
That's what I was trying to remember if I told it or not.
Yeah. You
You
you've
didn't
Depending
tell
if we
us
have it.
You've told it,
told
yeah.
about being held up against the wall, but this guy was a cunt, and it was
Yeah.
because his show was doing shite, and we took
It was
his,
doing shite.
We took his venue. We took his. We didn't take his.
Yeah.
We took a fucking room because it was bigger and our audience was bigger, and they were still out the door. It was
But it's
like,
just, I'm still, but the
shit,
reason but I still have that really happy memory of you guys weirdly having my back.
yeah,
You were
because he
all
was a
kind of
cunt.
taking you were taking the piss and going, oh, better keep out of the way, don't want to start a fight.
What the fuck was he gonna do? Fucking nothing is what he was gonna fucking do. Some guys are real big when they don't think that anything's gonna happen, and you always know when it's that guy because they're usually flat out on their fucking back with the moment a guy who comes along that can do that. It does
So
tends
you have-
not to be anyone that you would expect either. I think Scotland's great for that. If someone is fucking with you and you're clearly outdone, no matter the circumstance, I think someone will kind of step in for you. So, like even my brother, he jumped in for probably a junkie guy because he was getting beat on by 4 bouncers, and he was like, "Fuck off, all of you!" And they're like, "He's dealing drugs. This guy's a psycho." And they're like, "He's like, yeah, and one of you could do the job. Fuck off." It's a weird kind of thing where it's like we don't like an unfair fight, and we certainly don't like anyone who likes to puff out their chest and be like, "I'll tell you something. I'm gonna be the one to knock you Billy boys out." And it's like, you're talking to 12-year-olds there, guy. I think you should wind your fucking neck in.
Speaking of that kind of thing in Scotland, today was the elections here.
Hooray!
Yeah, which did you vote, dear Roddy?
Take 2 wild fucking guesses, mate.
Of course you did. I can probably
Although
guess.
I was tempted for the Scottish Family Party.
Oh,
just to
fuck off
see.
with them. They can.
Oh,
Should we perhaps?
I loved it.
Perhaps
Did we talk about them? We talked about them already.
We haven't. I don't think we haven't talked about them yet, but we should because they are a horrible party. They should be named and shamed and culled. Except
Actually,
no murder,
Martin,
murder bad.
Just
Murder
for
bad.
reference, like,
Okay.
who's your ultra right-wing fundamentalist, anti-trans, anti-gays, liberal rights party
Ooh.
in the Czech Republic?
That's so many of them.
Oh fuck! Jesus.
And I
Really?
now
That
that's
bad over there?
it's kind of like we are often called basically United States of Europe in the way of like that we are pretty much the same on a political spectrum. That like you have this like weirdly ignorant like huge amount of people, And like I would say, like normally that would be SPD. That's like that's the party that's like most made fun of for all these things. And you're like, you know exactly how to piss these people off. Like it's so easy because they are like such an assholes, and it's so like basically like every like. Even the people that I really like disagree with their opinions, like usually they also hate SPD. So that's how it goes. So like that would be probably that party. But also we have like, you know, the usual conservatives, which are basically all that you named, without the like explicit racism, I would say.
Or at least if there is, it's hidden but known.
Well, that's why I said without the explicit racism.
Yeah.
The implicit is there still, but you know the explicit is not there.
But it's more the fact you've also got other parties going on like that.
Like your Scottish showed up there.
Started. Yeah. Well, it's just because I there used to be a time when I used to kind of support Alex Salmon, but then just seeing how he is at his fall from grace, I'm just like, just stop, dude.
So for any Czech viewers who don't know what Alex Salmond is, he's that Scottish guy on Russia Times.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
What was Russia Today? I thought that's what RT meant.
Yeah, Russian Today. RT.
What did I say?
Russia Today. Russian Times.
You said Russian Times is Russia Today. That's
Russia
RT.
Today.
Yes. If you're going to make fun of it, make sure it's all proper facts.
Sorry, Dad.
Good boy.
I'm surprised because we've already mentioned like most of these guys tend to be a little bit in heavy denial. I think if you were going up against these parties who are like, "Oh, these fucking guys," and then I think all you would need to do, if you're just even passable, just kind of look them dead in the eyes and just give them one of these, just see what their reaction is. See if it's like, "Oh, no, push down the gate." It's like, yeah, you know what you're about. You know what you're about.
But it's more the fact, the thing I'm hating about him is that despite all this recent court stuff after him, and basically he's not innocent, but he's not convicted of basically doing horrible things to girls, sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff. It's like, he's not innocent, but he's not convicted. But then afterwards, what does he do? He starts a political party that he can't even pronounce the word right.
Oh, yes, the Alba Party. Like, say it right. Say it right.
Say it right. Although, admittedly, I can't do it because I'm not good at the Gaelic, but I know it's wrong. But at the same time, why would you...
Elba?
Ilba.
Ilba? Ilba? Ilva? Ilva Zabansky.
Which...
the facade is dropped.
And I have to laugh how most of the people that went in to be ministers for it, to be in the running, most of them former SNP, who are basically a bit more in terms of anti-gay, anti-trans, like, Christ. And then, of course, you got the George Galloway party.
Oh, whatever the fuck that is. But it doesn't really matter too much. Like, I just care about, you know, like, are we still allowed to do stuff? Like, one of the best ones I've seen, see if you can get it on Reddit, actually, on the Scotland thread. But there's a game someone made of Nicola Sturgeon in the style of Sonic. Someone recoded Sonic.
I saw that. Yeah, I know that. I know the guy that made that.
Someone recoded Sonic to be Nicola Sturgeon rushing through getting stuff. I couldn't download it because I have a fucking MacBook. But if your actual computers could download the game and tell me how it plays, I'd be much appreciated.
I mean, I'd have to ask. The thing is, I know the guy that did it. At least I think he's the one that did it. I'll have to ask him about it. But there is a video of it. I don't know if it's worth putting on here though. To
put it on. Put it on.
Put it on.
Well, hold on. Let me finally make.
God damn it, James! Get it on.
Yeah.
Get it. Get it on.
Get it on. Let's get it on.
See that?
Fuck.
I just called to say I hate you.
So the election is started today, and it's going for 2 days, or how long?
No, it ends at 10 p.m. tonight, and you know we'll have all the votes counted either Monday.
We usually have elections on Friday going to Saturday, like that you can vote on Friday and Saturday.
I don't know. I think it'll be tomorrow. They'll be counting the votes in the local councils, and then the next day it'll be England to reshuffle a few things, and then we'll know the result.
There's the Welsh one going on right now at the minute. One of my one of my Welsh friends is actually basically at the ballot boxes taking people's votes at the minute. So he's having a fun time with that. And I've got the video at the ready of
Okay,
Nicola versus
I will-
Nicola versus Dr. Bojo Nick.
Go, 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 go.
Go.
I'm a clicking, Jesus.
Click harder, son.
Oh, shit.
Wait for it.
Who started it again?
I'm gonna skip it a little bit ahead to the boss. It's a silly wee thing, but it was fun.
I mean, like, it's... I would actually assume that it's the easiest way how to make it. It would be to just, like, to upload their own sprites, basically there, and just play the game. That's pretty much how it seems that it was done.
It was the reskinning. It is all
Yeah,
it is.
it's just like
But-
reskin, yeah.
But it's still good. But it was still impressive doing it, even if it's just for funsies.
Yeah. But how do you think that this will actually like play out? How much percentage or votes like will it go to the Scottish National Party? Or did it?
What?
Like how?
Say that again.
Yeah, the election. How do you think that they will actually play out?
I'm thinking. I think SNP will still do well. I'm hoping the Greens will get some growth as well because they're the other party that are supporting independence, which means I'm a bit surprised the Green Party is not supporting the main party down south. But see how that goes. I'm hoping Alba and the George Galloway party, they get nothing. Conservatives, I keep thinking they're still going to get something. I'm having the weird slight hope that like Shetland and Orkney, with the recent turnover, they're going to not be Lib Dems anymore.
Mhm.
Because they've been very strict about that. But I'm thinking with how everything's been handled and the fact that two-thirds of Scots agree that Boris Johnson is not fit to rule the UK, well, to run the UK. The Party's like,
Well, no shit.
I'm thinking it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping that this will lead to eventually another referendum because there's nothing that can actually stop it. And
Yeah.
I'd rather as a proper one rather than was it UDI, which I think would be dangerous, to be honest, for us, especially how it went for Catalonia.
Hmm.
I mean, not that I'm gonna. Although it's just trying to imagine tanks coming up to Scotland to
Okay.
stop everyone being independent. They'll just send the old grannies to front and say, "Hey, you! I know you're better. You get out of that tank, and I'll give you a spanking." Is what I'm imagining would happen.
Can
If
you-
they ever pass through like the Gobbles or like East Kilbride or Kirkcaldy, like those tanks, they'll be up on sticks with all the treads taken off. It's like, sorry, we can't go forward anymore. They're tucking the wheels. Oh, I'm talking English. They're tucking the wheels.
So we're kind of get forward. Why not? There's lots of broken bucky about, mate. We can't do nothing.
I mean, it's
Open
a
fire
good.
at the
Tractor shredders.
protesters. We can't, sir. They have guns too.
Nah, we wouldn't use guns up here. We are deadly against that.
I mean, it's
There you go.
really, it's like tanks
I
are
remember I would.
tanks are like a lot of quality metal scrap, so like you can sell it as well. It's not
Maybe
just
that's
wheels.
why one of our local conservative leaders wants to do away with gypsy travelers. He's still not living that down. He wants to like impose harsher sanctions on travelers, and it's like, for what? It's like for being gypsy travelers.
I mean, like, okay, but as I'm like looking at the polls, like it seems that it might be like that if there's a coalition between SNP, Lib Dem, and Greens, like would that work? Like,
Lib Dems, no
is it-
Greens, yes.
Yeah, is it possible to Lib Dem actually to like getting behind SNP?
Well, no, because Lib Dems are
No.
a union party.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
What I'm intrigued by is that recently, in the Daily Record, there's a whole thing of trying to get people saying you should vote for SNP and Labour, and it's like, okay, you guys
Oh,
are fucking
Labour.
desperate right now.
Oh,
No,
I
it's like-
actually I somehow I actually managed to ignore Labor somehow.
It's okay.
It's okay, so
Everyone
does
forgets
everybody.
about them now.
Yeah,
please.
like that actually like
They literally have 5 guys left in Parliament. And they're like, oh no.
It's the thing is, then that's something they recently had to replace. Wasn't it some English guy who was leading the Scottish Labour at one point?
Yeah.
Which none against that because SNP there's actually a
You know
French
what's-
MP who's
okay, I
lovely
will-
guy, really lovely by the way.
can you like you will appreciate that. As I
Okay.
was saying, the most racist, well, the blah blah blah, all the other stuff party is actually, and that's the weird thing. That's why I can like, it's kind of difficult to call them even racist for that, because it's headed by Japanese Moravian, like the guy that is like half Japanese and half Czech, well, Moravian. So, and that's the weird
Okay.
thing, because like he's like vehemently against migration and like foreign influence, and he's also like a businessman that is like trying to sell like for example like Japanese goods, you know, like all these basically just I would almost call it cultural appropriation of a culture that is basically sort of his, and it's like it's weird. It's just so weird.
That just makes me think of Hitler hating Jews when he's got Jewish blood himself.
Yeah, like
I
I
know,
mean, like
like-
he's more like his like that's the thing. Like you can actually find a lot of quotes from him that are supporting migration and all these things. Like before he went to politics, and it's like people just don't care. Like that he's actually like he's saying so many things that like don't fit together when you're like, okay, but like 10 minutes ago you said this, but that doesn't like even like do nothing. It does nothing for his like voter base, like nothing. Like you can show any kind of like logical fallacy or anything in his arguments, and it doesn't matter. It's just like pointless.
It kind of sounds like he only gets any track or anyone paying attention because they're laughing at the guy. It sounds
Also,
like.
yeah, but like he gets like 12%.
Oh, that's worrying.
Yeah,
That's very bad.
that's the
But
fun.
then I hate how we're seeing in Europe at the minute there seems to be this growing right wing thing happening.
But like that's the worst thing. Like it's you like in Czech Republic. Well, we don't even have something that you would call right. Like we
Not right wing, yeah.
Yeah, the right wing is not really there, actually. So like it's basically conservative left in a way. That's the thing. Like we have pretty much like it's more like
It's new
all the-
Labour.
like most of the parties, like except one, well, except two, okay, like let's call it like 20%, like I would say that it would be right. The others are like center left. So
That kind of it makes me think of like bloody when we used to have, what was it, New Labour, the Tony Blair Labour kind of party thing.
War criminals, yeah, I love that. Hey,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
be
war
nice to
criminals.
each other and start a war.
But you know, like at the end, it's more like conservatives versus I don't know whom, honestly, because we don't have the opposite. Like most of the parties are also like very conservative. So
Well,
like,
it's you, Martin. You're the opposite.
now, like what I'm saying is more like the most leftist party right now that would you call like liberal. That would be pirates. We actually have a pirate party.
Fuck yeah.
And that's an interesting concept because they actually got started just to advocate for movie and video game piracy. That was their origin, and they got so popular that right now they might be the strongest party in the next election. Right now, and like they are actually not advocating for the piracy anymore, but they are advocating for more, let's say, liberal approach to politics.
That's a hell of a lean into it. Like, haha,
Yeah.
let's all just enjoy free film and TV, and then, like, oh no, there's social injustice. Okay, fuck all that.
No,
we're still pirates.
But that was the thing. Like they actually started with the like pirating, which means that there was like it was a really weird party because they had a lot of people that would completely disagree in any other like political sense, which means that they all only agreed that the piracy is good. But then that was a community like combination of people like from all political spectrum, and then they basically crystallized into the like liberal party.
It's kind of like how there's the kind of joke party, the Monster Raving Loony party in the UK.
Hey, they're awesome though.
You have Lord Buckethead,
Yeah,
who is the leader of the entire thing. But he got political recently. He talked about the situation in Northern Ireland, and he said people are worried about a hard border, but more they're worried about how checks along the border will affect Ireland, Northern Ireland. And he said, honestly, checks along the border of Northern Ireland and Ireland need to be left alone. They can stay there. They'll be fine. They're allowed to be there.
Well, come to think of it, we should have made this like a whole podcast political. Like it seems that that's what we actually want to talk about.
Because he was talking about people from the Czech
it was just
Republic being on the border. That was the
yeah, I know. I'm getting it's just I'm okay with the talking today because it's just because it's so
Election
recent
day.
day. It's good to talk. Yeah, it's election day, so it's kind of a weird
Election.
special. But at the same time, we probably should talk about some of the stuff we've seen, watched, played, and then we also have Dirty Times with Roddy.
Yeah, so Rodda, what have you like? You've played Apex, okay? James, what have you been playing?
Well, you see what I've been playing.
Okay.
Basically, a few months ago, I was playing Yakuza 1.
Okay.
I decided there's a lot of references here I don't get. I should probably finally play that Yakuza 0, despite the fact I have new games to play, like, what was it? Where is it? Oh, yeah, the Outriders and also Nier Replicant. But I've been getting weirdly addicted to Yakuza 0, which I should probably show a trailer here. Hold on one moment, and here we go. Bah.
Sega.
Just pausing there. You could see it, Martin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Roddy, you're not getting it.
Oh, God.
Maybe refresh it.
Yeah. Do it.
Did I do it? There we go. Yeah, on you go.
Say.
人がいなかったら今頃もう私は
太田生け捕りにして俺の前に出すな。
Basically, it's been fairly addictive. It is a wildly violent game. It's good for seeing characters that, before seeing them being crazy, like the guy with the eye patch, Majima, he's not as crazy so far in this one compared to the sequels. He's a lot more subdued, basically just like, I just want to get back in the Yakuza, dude. While also running effectively a cabaret club. Hence why he's dressed in a tuxedo, and then later on there's another cabaret club he has to run where he's hiring girls and giving them tips and training how to talk to customers, and you're basically just trying to raise all this money. But that's the thing, the whole thing of money's a lot more important in this game because you can invest in your business, but you also invest in yourself, as in to have better fighting styles. Money effectively becomes your experience points. So it means you're continually being fights, you're doing things like...
Just like in real life.
Yeah, the guy in the white suit, Kiryu, he is basically framed for a crime he didn't commit.
Of course.
Leaves the Yakuza and ends up in a real estate company by trying buying out property and at the same time defending his business and beating up people while trying to basically find out who actually did the murdering, who's trying to basically do all this shit with the Yakuza and solve it so that no one else has to die. And he doesn't like killing people either. He'll beat you to a fucking pulp, make sure you're in hospital, but he won't kill you.
Batman.
Basically, he's Batman.
Yeah.
He's my
Imagine
dad.
This is based in the 80s, despite the fact there's clothes in it that just make me think, this isn't the 80s. Are you sure you guys designed this right?
It's Japanese
There's-
game.
There's lots of mini games, including playing with toy cars. Like racing them around, because apparently that was a big thing in Japan, maybe. I don't know. There's pool, there's bowling, there is calling girls to try and meet up with them for a date. Which is like, because of Yakuza, and that happens. And trying to do karaoke like a bloody button press game, like something at a Parappa Rapper. Which is kind of a bit of fun if you're into that kind of thing. And the battle system is fun, but a lot of things are hidden away because you're basically really having to invest in the side business to guarantee making a whole lot of money. There's side story, side quests you could easily miss, but it's good to search around your little areas that you're in, whether it's Kamurocho or this other bit that's in is it Ozaki? No, Osaka, somewhere in Osaka. But usually the Yakuza games, including Zero, they're usually in sale. You can get them for like a $5 or a $10 at times, and I highly recommend everyone just giving it a go. If you like beating up things, if you're a fan of Shenmue and wish it actually played well, I would say go for Yakuza. That's why you go for Yakuza, because it's like Shenmue, except it's not, because it's playable and the story's actually pretty decent. And if you're good enough, try and find the original Yakuza game that has the legendary English dub, and you get to have Mark Hamill in it, because Mark Hamill is awesome.
Nice. I have played the Yakuza game. I do have it on the games library, but I still have the gripe with Japanese games that just because something takes a long time doesn't mean it's a challenge. I get so bogged down with like how long it takes to do shite and how long they intend to invest time and how slow some of the action can go along.
It's the kind of thing that's
like false padding of a game. It's like it's the illusion of a lot of content without actually showing anything. It's just a lot of time to invest in doing not very much. And I kind of felt that with the Yakuza games.
It's basically the Castlevania 2 story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because remember, that basically it was false padding, having to go back and having to decipher secret messages that make no fucking sense unless you get an emulated version and get a translated thing that fixes all that. But
that's kind of deal breaker for me mostly, because it's like, you know, if you have a limited time for gaming, like the last, like first of all, like open sandbox games are the last on your list, like just from default. Like, because like you don't have time to play these games because like they usually promise like 70 hours at least of content, like with like side quests and stuff. Like I don't have time for 70 hours. If it's like this kind of game, like the GTA style with the lot of cutscenes and of course like really tedious mini games, well, yeah, like that. Like I actually like the game. Well, I've seen the Yakuza. Which one was the last one? Was that?
The recent one's Yakuza Like a
6?
Dragon, where it plays more like a
Yeah.
RPG
No, like okay,
this
I mean
time
like
around. I've heard a lot of good. Oh, Yakuza 6?
yeah,
The Song of Life?
Okay, probably yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So I was like looking at the trailers, I like this seems fun, but like I don't have time to play it like at all. Like so.
To be honest, from what I've seen in most of the games, it's pretty much the same thing. You move around the same fucking area. You're doing all these things. It's even the same with Judgment, even though Judgment at least has some intriguing little bits for investigation, but it's still the same thing. You're going around, beating guys up, you get some story. It's kind of cool to listen to, but to be honest, part of me wonders, maybe I should have just watched this on YouTube. But you want the experience. So you kind of fight through it. And in some cases, it ends up being fun, and there's some fights that are annoying, including Yakuza 0. You have a guy called Mr. Shakedown who, if you don't run away from, he's tough, you can fight him and get more money from him, or lose all of your money that you were saving up to spend on experience points or investing in your business. But you can still find him and beat him up to try and get all again. And the only way I suggest, if you're going to fight him, buy lots of health stuff. Seriously. Remember use your heat actions to do your weird little limit break things.
Like, no
Kind
one will play it now. Like not.
I think it's an interesting concept that the game brings up, though, that money is essentially useless when you can go around and beat the shit out of people. I mean, that's technically how real life could work as well. I mean, the only thing stopping me from beating the shit out of you and taking your shoes is society norms, and I can easily get around them.
Yeah, with money.
Like, the only thing I would then use money for is just for simple things where I could learn. Someone could provide a service where I could learn a new skill, like how to throttle more money out of people.
And you can find it all on Skillshare, which is the leading.
Use pure bad paste at checkout and get a 50% discount on Netflix.
And also our original series on Nebula, which is.
And don't forget about MIDI. MIDI.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone forgot about MIDI. It's a forgotten art.
Yeah.
I know, buddy. I know. But otherwise, we should say, Roddy, what have you been watching or playing?
Like, Roddy was playing Apex, we know that. Like, he actually started...
Oh, shit, right. So, then in this case, we should ask Martin, what have you been watching or playing?
What I've been watching? Well, I watched several weeks ago, actually, but I wanted to talk about it. This Netflix miracle show, I don't know, like, let's pretend that it's interesting. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah.
On the top of a dark and distant mountain, there is a beautiful and talented woman who uses her unique skills to create hauntingly disturbing confections. She finds beauty in the art of darkness with each creation and shares them with us, the unusual creatures she has taken into her home.
I can't remember the last time we had a normal meal around here.
You think this meal is normal?
That is spectacular.
Sugar. Once this cools down, we'll be ready to carve a face. I used royal icing in a piping bag.
Oh, I get it.
What part can I help with? You're a pretty little princess.
Don't wait up. This is our home, and it's a place where the strange and unusual are safe and welcome.
Welcome to the curious creations of Christine McConnell.
I do think we should kill him. With kindness.
Oh, that takes so long.
Okay.
Actually, that looks interesting.
It's not that interesting.
What?
I mean, like, it's kind of weird. Like, okay, it's basically a how-to show. It's basically how-to with a story. So it's like there's some kind of conflict. In the end, like someone is having a birthday, and that's the comedy part around it. And then there's like how we make something for them as a present, how to make this, how to make that, how to make like, which is the problem there. First of all, like, she's really shit at acting. Like, she doesn't act. Like, she's really good in that, like, explanation stuff. You know, like, she has a really nice voice. She's presenting it like really well, but like there's no emotions when she tries to act some kind of emotions, and then, like, it doesn't really work that way. So that was the first thing that like kind of got my eye there. But the problem is that the story is kind of cute and okay, but the problem is the tutorials themselves are mostly like, yeah, let's do something ridiculously difficult, and basically the way how she solves the problem is she admits that it's difficult and tedious. You know, like, so yeah, let's make this like elaborate gingerbread house, and it's like, okay, you will need to make walls, and then you need to place the icing directly like that, and it will take fucking forever. And that's pretty much the tutorial. And it's like, I can also figure it out. Like it will be fucking difficult because it's really obvious when I look at it. So most of the tutorials are just like, yeah, this will take ages. Like, fucking obviously it will take ages. Like, it's not that difficult. So, like, because what I'm usually looking for in a how-to is, like, first that I cannot even imagine how I can start with that. But like, these things are just normal things with like made more elaborate. So that's not difficult. Like, only thing that I actually find out in this, like, which would be so that you can buy a sugar glass that like some kind of product that it's like really good for sugar glassing. So like, yeah, and that's what I learned. But usually that's what I expect from tutorials. Sometimes it's not about the how to, but that some product exists. You know, like, yeah, I didn't know that I can actually buy this like a Warbler that I can just like heat it and make it like foldable plastic, and yeah, that's great. I didn't know that it exists, but this is just like, you know, like, make the thing. It's difficult. Deal with it. Meh.
I think they went the wrong way, because I've watched this as well. I actually really like Christy McConnell, and I actually follow her YouTube and Instagram, and I like her kind of aesthetic. I like the creepy Lovecraft 50s horror vibe, but like, yeah, the show didn't work because it was like every time it was kind of like daytime kids television show, you know. It was just a nice lady with a quiet voice, but wasn't necessarily all about like, yay, preppy, yeah. Like, no, it makes her character.
It makes it sound like they were trying to present her like something out of the Munsters.
I mean, like,
yeah,
so I see more. She was
like a primary teacher more than anything else. Like, that's the energy she's giving out. She's a primary teacher, and she's there to teach you some boring stuff, but it's got good results.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, have you found any of her like tutorials useful? Like these? I mean, like,
she doesn't really do tutorials. Is the thing. It's like, here's how I'm doing it. Here's how I'm doing it at my house, and it's like, it's just fun to watch her, you know, genuinely skillfully craft something. It's like, wow, I wish I could do that. And the thing is that you can't, because it is tedious work, and it requires a lot of repetition, and it requires a lot of natural talent that you need to develop anyways. Yeah, but it's like, it's almost like it's hard or something. It is. It's really, really hard. Just let her make something and don't make it a fucking tutorial.
But that's the thing. Like, for example, there are lazy tutorials for Blender, you know, the 3D software. And the video is 1 minute long, and it like teaches you that if you like really understand the software, some things can be really easy. That you can do something in a very lazy way if you just like understand it. And it's like, that's great. That like, you're looking at it and like, I need more. And it's like what I call like how-to voyeurism. That like, I will never use this skill, but I fucking love it how easy it could be if I would just like apply it myself. You know, I can dream about it. But this is like, yeah, if I would spend like 50 hours on this, it would look like I spent 50 hours on this. It's like, yeah, that fuck yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's great. That's not, so I don't basically like it because like if you assume that it will take 50 hours and she tells you it will take 50 hours, like there's no excitement in it. Like no excitement at all. Like and like that's how I feel about it.
I kind of wish they'd run into more of the madcap stuff. Like all the stuff that she makes can just be like a wee bit that kind of happens in the middle of the episode with other actual hijinks going on, and they could have hired a different actor. I'm really sorry to say she does. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Martin. She's not an actress at all, and they're trying to make like a friendly kiddie Addams Family knockoff. But she's not the right person. She should have produced it. She should have made the shit, but it should have been someone else, like, as the character.
I'm trying to remember someone. I keep thinking it's in Channel 4 someone. There's some famous chef, baker guy or whatever. Like, he was able to make stuff that looks like something else, but it's something else. Like, he can make something that looks like an actual orange, but it's actually just some of the pate.
Yeah.
Like, pork and everything.
I'm not sure I'd want that.
Yeah, but do you know what I'm talking about? Like, he's a guy that basically just does all these weird, wonderful things with food where you think it's something else, but it's like, oh, no, it's this. What the fuck?
I mean,
is that the same guy who's like, do you think it's toilet roll? Wrong, it's cake.
It kind of feels like, well, maybe not the recent memes that talk about that kind of stuff, but I wonder if it is. I just remember a name like Herman or something.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna have to look that.
Like
that up.
With her acting, it's like someone was saying like that it's like not emotional because like she's supposed to be that Addams Family Morticia, basically like in this way. But still, like I would say, like Morticia was subtle. She was subtle, but really expressive.
Addams Family was dark as well. Like they did admit, like we
like
murdered
she
people.
was like
not today, but
in some way you could feel.
Yeah, but Morticia was subtle but intense. You could feel it
exactly
subdued.
But like Christine McConnell, she's just like nice lady. That's it.
It seems more like you're trying to be Dita Von Teese, but you're just really good at baking.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like I do wish more stuff was like.
I mean,
that.
I actually think
definitely with Morticia. I mean, that she did inform a few things.
I mean,
we've already mentioned Goth Girls. I mean, like Ultimate Queen is Morticia Addams, and
talking of that, we should. I keep thinking before we go into Six Times, we should do a quick brief showing of a recent launch trailer, something that's going to be happening tomorrow, maybe.
Yep. Okay.
Just told. Of which I'm pretty sure Choji will enjoy this. And for anyone else that knows that I'm talking about Resident Evil Village and you don't want to be spoiling anything, I'm giving you 5 seconds before I play it. If you want to get away for this trailer that's about 40 seconds long.
Dear
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
That was fucking epic. I loved it. It was the best trailer that I've ever seen. I fucking love it.
Careful, Martin, your sarcasm showing.
But it is pretty big.
But it's more the fact I am looking forward to seeing Tall Vampire Lady. Of course I am, because of which
we're all looking forward to seeing Tall Vampire Lady. Step on me.
Of which have any of you guys tried the demo?
No. Like
I'm free,
even though Resident Evil guy.
It was kind of weird how. Did you know how they were doing the demos originally?
On a limited time of play for the section of the game that they have made for the demo, so you don't get too much, but you can still play enough.
So it was
to get interest in the game.
Mm-hmm. So
it made me think. Effectively, they were trying to basically do a thing that was like what happened for Resident Evil 2 Remake, actually, where you had a one-shot demo. You had 30 minutes to play this game, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get a chance to play it again. The only time you would be to basically make a new account and re-download it. That would be the only way you could play it again. And then for some reason, it was just weird how they decided to 3 times there'd be a new demo. There'd be a 30-minute demo of the village, which you had 24 hours to do, which wasn't really great for people who are busy or whatever. And then the next week was the castle. And then they decided with the third one, which you had an hour to either play either or and of the village or the castle, but then they extended it from 24 hours to be basically the day before the game comes out. And from what I felt, from what I played with the game, I'm definitely feeling a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. With basically like the attaché case thing. Like, in terms of your usual inventory system in Resident Evil games, because of course it's got to be there.
Okay.
And the style of it basically just makes you think, okay, this game's going to be cool, but then a part of me's like, how much of this is going to be reused for the Resident Evil 4 remake, which has been confirmed that they're remaking for, even though I don't see the point because it's ported under everything in the sun, including a fridge.
I mean, even I'm ported for Resident Evil 4 by this point.
He's got it on his chest. Seriously, it's impressive.
I mean, is it more? I mean, is it more like more devices than Skyrim?
Yeah, actually, because you have the Wii, you have the Wii U, you have the Switch, you have Xbox, you have PlayStation, you have PC. Yeah, it has more ports than Skyrim.
Fuck.
Basically, yeah, it does win it, including some consoles no one's ever heard of. It was once at one point on mobile before they took it off, actually.
Okay. Well, how many ports?
RE4 ports. I'm kind of wondering if someone's already...
How many Skyrim ports? 9, it seems. Yeah, 9 Skyrim ports, it seems. And how many Resident Evil 4? Okay,
It's going to win it. But then Resident Evil 4 has got the bonus that it was released about the time of GameCube and PS2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it means it's technically got that over it. Yeah. And you stroking your beard menacingly, cheekily going,
yeah, I cannot find an article about it directly, so I'm...
Or, there's Wikipedia, that kind of works.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find it on. Not having that much luck.
What about all 2 of our viewers? Can they tell us how many ports there are to Resident Evil?
Yeah, and then you can win a dinner with Rory.
Seriously, all he has is breadsticks. It's disappointing. Otherwise, well, Choji, if you're I know you're watching this. Do you know how many platforms that Resident Evil 4 has been on? I will give you like 20 seconds because we've really got to we're kind of restricted in time for what we can do
or
right now.
You can work on it and we can go to our
dirty times.
Yeah, let's do that.
Since when do we do dirty times?
We are due
It's how we all met.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that orgy? It was a magical night.
Oh yeah.
The answer is 13. 13 ports.
13 points.
Okay.
13 points.
That's a lot.
And of course now it's going to be a VR version of it for Oculus, which actually does look kind of cool, actually.
Okay, yeah. Why not? Why the fuck no? That's such a stupid idea.
I know.
2 seconds, guys.
2 seconds. Okay. 1, 2.
Oh.
I don't trust
Is he about to set the scene again?
Yeah, that's the deceiver. No, that's the Roddy deceiver. He said 2 seconds and it's...
So I'm thinking his t-shirt's going to be tied up like something out of Britney Spears' "Hit Me Baby One More Time" again.
I hope
he's not done that in a few weeks.
Yeah,
let's
not remind it to him. It seems.
Although he can't hear us at this point, just because he's...
Okay, now
you thought I was dead.
Yes.
Wrong.
What did you do?
None of your business.
Head away.
Like I was cranking one out really quickly because this next chapter is actually quite sexy.
Okay.
Oh,
If
how
you
is
say
it
so.
handling the Google How is it handling the Google Translate this time?
Hey Google, change the light to pink. I said,
Perfect.
what? How? How the fuck did you? Hey Google, change the light to pink.
Or, you know, just change your ring light.
You know what? Red Room works too. We're all 50 Shades fans around here.
I mean, this is pink.
No, fuck off 50 Shades of Grey. It could fuck off and die in a fire.
Hey Google,
Can it though, James? Can
change
it?
the light. to
You
red.
want a man to tell you that he doesn't make love.
This is
He
red.
fucks.
But it's a poorly written book that does say awful things about the BDSM industry. No,
It also
it
says
could die in a
awful
fire.
things about your inner goddess. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that you can kind of feel bad and be justified once you've cranked one out.
Okay.
Roderick Mackenzie, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You ever have that? You just crank one out and then you're like, I feel bad. But, you know, there wasn't anything particularly wrong that I was looking at. I mean, that woman was riding the wooden horse of her own volition.
You're the kind of man I think who would probably do a danger wank and would still keep going.
Honestly, the libido is a wee bit ridiculous. I'm surprised my girlfriend hasn't kicked me out.
Okay, let's do this. Leroy.
Let us cast our minds back. Think of your favorite person. Now get rid of them and get the person in there that you actually want to have sex with. Imagine Morticia Adams. Gomez is now officially dead. He died from cancer.
Oh!
Morticia is available.
I mean...
Yeah.
And now she comes to you with sweet, sensual, soothing music.
Honestly, I'm like, okay, this doesn't work. You need to like royalty free.
What?
Yeah, because we yeah, that's...
I mean, like, I don't think I'm in her league. Like, she's like way above like Morticia Adams. So I'm like, I wouldn't even like try. It's like pointless. I know my place in pecking order.
Pecking order! Sorry, fellas, keep picking.
Okay, go.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Morticia. Climb out of that coffin and into my lap and let me tell you a story. Chapter 14. Truth and Lie. Hell! I quickly jumped out of bed and started looking for my wallet. I have nothing at all. I have to buy. That's best for deployed states, isn't it? I took off my jacket and set off. First of all, I went to the drugstore and bought everything I needed for the bathroom. Like, already this doesn't make sense. I feel like... Is there a translation error there?
I don't know. What's your problem there?
What's deployed?
Deployed? Oh, like that might be just like depression. You know, like.
Oh, that's
like,
for depression states.
You know, like coit is just the you know how it like so someone who's like totally in depression, I guess.
Yeah.
I actually called my
First
cat
of
tapcoit with tlapcoit, which means like pawcoit, which is just like, you know, cutesy name or something.
I took off my jacket and set off. So, you know, when you take off your jacket when you're inside and then go outside without your jacket.
Basically,
set off.
Like sometimes it's colder at home than, you know, outside.
First of all, I went to the drugstore and bought everything I needed for the bathroom. Then I stopped at Tesco to take some rolls for Adam Jika. I also wanted to buy, sorry Czech people, Ostroveciak. Because I know that they don't sell it in Prague. And it also reminds me of Wojtek. Unfortunately, they didn't have it. Because I'm in Prague. I'm a cow. It sucks. I was walking past breakfasts when I heard a familiar voice. "Look, Cake, you can't puff so little. the baby won't get nourished, and it's not healthy for your body either. What I'm after orgasm, I'll play you in an exemplary manner. I'm pregnant. I can whine as much as I want. It won't hurt the baby, but it'll hurt the cake. Don't call me a cake. I'll just take it from the way you talk about me. But cake, you have to gain weight so the baby has enough nutrients. Brownie pulled out Martin's basket and continued briskly. He looked between the shelves. He noticed me. Anno, what are you doing here? I'm Annie, if anything, and I'm going to Tesco to look at the ceilings. I'm shopping, man. And why here? Don't you know that I live directly opposite? So what? She's completely fucked with me. Where you live. I'm just going shopping, and let me be. I'd feel a dumpling in my throat. I'm sure that's an expression, or she has just quickly eaten a dumpling.
Nah, that's an expression of like you're not able to speak because like you feel a pressure there.
Hot tears welled up in my eyes. I went to the cash register to pay. I collided with Brownie. Do you want to kill me? Can't you see we're pregnant? What if something happened to me? Killing your child more than you did with that heroin is quite impossible. I smiled at her through my tears. She tossed her hair and overtook me in line. Facts take precedence. I couldn't help myself. Go fuck your cow, Brownie countered. In front of Brownie stood an elderly lady with purple hair and French sticks, similar to Martin's.
French sticks, well, that's actually the name of the crutches. That's how they are called.
Huh.
It's actually called like because they were invented in French, so it's actually called like. Beep, beep, beep.
So this old lady has some tricked out titanium things that you could use to climb a mountain or beat the fuck out of someone.
I mean, like I'm using the basic aluminum crutches, yeah.
Who is this old lady? You shouldn't be so rude, miss. You overtook her. I saw it. Come on, you have little. I'll let you go. Brownie glared at me. Even as I walked around the old lady with the basket full and laid out her rolls and snacks on the counter, I could feel Brownie burning a hole in my scalp with a laser gaze. I was packing things when Martin came. He hugged Brownie. She whispered something in his ear and kept looking at me. Martin frowned and headed for the entrance. He came up to me on the other side of the cash register. So you really exaggerated this. I thought you were reasonable, but you... Well, we were both wrong. I also thought you were sensible and noticed that Brownie was taking pills every day at 10 in the evening, except for the night she slept with a team. Small pink cosmetic bag. Do you remember? Martin wanted to say something, but he thought about it and realized I was right. He mumbled to himself and remembered. At this point, we have an epic flashback! Just imagine there's better effects in this video, okay? Suspend your disbelief. Anyway, Martin has done a big flashback. Yeah, Brownie made up a job interview, cheated on me, came back, and went to bed. She didn't take the pill. I fired her. Next day we met at the club. She took heroin, didn't take the pill. The next day Annie came to me saying that Brownie was out. Brownie's pink bag stayed in my bathroom. What I know, what pills she took. There were a lot of them. For immunity, iron, vitamin C and B, oyster mushrooms, probiotics, calcium. Was there contraception in between? I never asked. I guess I had. I guess she had everything in that fucking bag. Why is this even slightly important? To the flashing back. 3 days in a row. Is it enough? I pulled out my cell phone and started Googling. After about a minute, I looked up. Enough. They cost both of them in advance. Brownie was smiling at me. Annie's hands were folded and she looked like a winner. Brownie's gaze was killing me. But I didn't want to say anything until I figured it out. End of chapter.
Oh, so it might not be my child.
I mean, clearly it wasn't. Clearly it wasn't.
Fuck.
I think any woman strong enough to take your seed is not yet existing in this world.
Yeah,
or
okay.
has existed
That's
but has
the-
died
that's the
recently.
Superman.
It's kind of that never shall the twain meet.
Yeah, Superman issue, I guess.
I mean, you
Then
have
how
to
about-
you have to find the female equivalent of Martin, who might be. Honestly, Serena Williams.
I think that
I mean-
you're kind of hyping me up too much. Like,
Struggle through disabilities, have a lot of kind of issues of high achievements.
I mean,
high
you are
expectations.
struggling with disabilities.
I mean,
I guess
it's there.
I'm not struggling. I'm just living.
He's
I
not
mean, it's either
disabled,
her or
it's
Lady
just parts
Gaga.
of-
Would you like Lady Gaga instead?
I mean,
I mean, like, if I could, like, who to fuck? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would take Serena Williams. Hell yeah. Step on me, mommy.
as long as they're not Saya, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't like Sia. Have we discussed
How
this
many-
already? Have we discussed this already?
No, I don't think we have. Although I have to say, how many raspberries did she win? It was glorious.
Martin, can you cast your mind back? Have we talked about Sia's awful film music?
Music. Yeah.
Nope.
So it's a film about a woman with deeply troubling mental and health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Meant to be
Looking
autism,
after-
apparently.
Looking after a girl who's autistic, yeah.
There we go.
And
there we
it's
go.
not Rain Man autistic.
Uh-huh.
And it's not
Which is still bad.
It's not like Ben Affleck, the accountant, autistic. It's like the Simple Jack autistic from Tropic Thunder.
Don't go.
You make me happy.
Don't go full retard. Yeah, I
They
get
go
that.
Of which
full
the kid,
fucking retard.
of which the kid is played by the usual girl she has in most of her music videos.
Yeah, so if you know Sia, you know her music, and you're like, oh, the fun thing I danced at the club and then forgot about in the morning when I sobered up.
Mhm.
Like that. So if you remember the wee girl who dances in her music videos, she's a little bit more grown up now, and she's thinking that autistic people sound like that. And it's really awful to watch because
Do we have a trailer
She-
that might be much better to enjoy?
Oh, do we have to? Can we?
Yeah,
you know what,
fuck
I'd
no,
rather-
let's do this.
I would.
hate
I,
people.
I would rather put in a trailer for a show that actually tries to talk
No.
about autism, like atypical.
Like, I hate people. Let's do this. I mean, like, atypical was
Fine.
kind of difficult for me because, like, as I know people that are like, let's put it on the autistic spectrum that
Spectrum?
are like
Yeah.
still integrated, like, quite fine in society, but the conversations are kind of uncomfortable still with them. And I know a lot of people like that, and it's like watching atypical.
Let's see this.
Oh,
Let's see this.
Wait, have
Let's
you
see
got
this.
it?
Yeah.
Alright, nearly here. My neighbor's passed out on the floor, and I can't feel her pulse.
Does the little girl have any family members we can contact?
Family members.
I can hardly take care of myself.
Come on, this is your responsibility. Grow up.
Hey, music? I'm your sister.
All she's got now is you.
Calm down, it's okay.
Hi there.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't.
Music, it's your friend Ebo. I live next door.
Can you move in?
She can understand everything you are saying to her. And if you are happy, press this one.
I am sad.
Very funny, troublemaker. She sees the world in a completely different way from us.
We're about to have a pool party. I am happy.
You can do this.
And I'm gonna help her just like she helps me. And I'm actually learning how to love because I love her.
honestly, like, I actually know people on this level, like, because like I spend a lot of times in, you know, like different health facilities, and but like this trailer isn't really.
No,
No.
it's been heavily edited. So
the trailer's heavily edited.
Okay,
to
okay.
make it
So
seem better
the
than it
actual
actually
movie's
is.
solution to calming music down,
Yeah.
it happens multiple times throughout the movie, is that when she's having an episode, they put her into a supine hold her on the ground, press her down on her back, and are like, calm down! And that apparently does the trick real well, because Sia read a book that said to do that.
And
To
it's
a
from
child,
60s
multiple
or
times in one day.
50s?
It's not only that, it's that apparently the interpretation for someone who has, like, autism's a big radial sphere of like different symptoms where you can get learning difficulties, or you can have problems with like just functioning
Sensory
and processing
overload.
things like language and sounds and sights. So music's whole thing is that she gets sensory overload. And naturally, the only way she can process that sensory overload is to have more sensory overload in the form of a music video by Sia.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
like, okay.
Like, hey, all
honestly,
these normal everyday things that are just like getting to her, can we maybe delve into that? No. Big song and dance number, more colors, more sound, more light, more action, more movement, more everything. This will calm her down real well. It's like,
my biggest problem there, like in the trailer, was like, first of all, I thought it was way too cheesy. Like, even if you like accepted all the things, like it was like, oh, like she's teaching me to love blah blah. Fuck off! Like that's like such a cliche.
There's a thing where she apparently spent 2 years researching the subject of autism.
Yeah.
So she had like no stake in it in the first place, but then she spent 2 years reading.
Yeah.
And then thought she had some great ideas for a music video, and then was like, why not turn it into a movie? And then you got music, and it had absolutely no say from any autism experts, any people who were like directly involved. And then people quite rightfully were like, if you were really doing this to like shine a light on an issue of autism and like how it's not a big scary thing and it can be cared for, why wouldn't you hire an autistic actor? And Sia was like, well, they just weren't doing what I wanted and they weren't very good. It's like, honest answer. That's an honest answer right there. And you, miss, can fuck off.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I mean, that's the representation. I mean, like, finally something. But that's like,
I've got no problem with the concept of the film. Like a musical film about autism. Yeah, go ahead, bring it on. This one is the wrong one. This is so wrong. And they're actually editing it now. Like, Sia's responded to the criticism by saying that they're getting rid of all the scenes where music is put into a hold and held down. And she's like, yeah, I consulted some autism experts and they said that was exactly the wrong thing to do. It's like, oh, good. You're good.
Gee, you mean, despite the fact there's lots of material out there that also says this is bad, I mean, have you guys heard or seen the series Atypical?
Like,
yes, I've seen a bit of it. It's
me too.
First season is a bit odd, especially because one, there's not exactly anything involving autistic actors being involved or experts involved. But then the guy realized this, and by seasons 2 and 3, it gets hell of a lot better because 1, they actually have some other autistic actors involved. 2, they actually get more experts helping out with it. Because you're dealing with the main protagonist who has autism. He has typically in terms of sensory overload and other bits to make it almost seem like Sheldon from Big Bang, but a bit more subdued, thankfully. Because I'd recommend giving it a go, like Atypical, in terms of looking at interesting autistic experiences with all parents, but also realizing there's not just one typical thing. As said, there is a wide spectrum. Everyone's different in terms of people who are on that spectrum.
As you were saying already about the like musical about autism, that sounds great. The basics sounds good, but now like it made me yearn for a musical, fictional musical that will never happen, and that's the game musical from IT Crowd. I'm a friend of Dorothy. I'm a friend of Dorothy. She is my friend. I like the songs were really catchy. I love that. Like,
I really want that
tonight is
musical
a
too.
homo-
Actually, there is one that was. We put the trailer on a few months ago. But it was one that's been kind of getting a little bit of flack called "Everything's About Jamie." It's about a kid who becomes a drag queen.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? A couple of songs seem pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was tackling issues of like, it's not about being a drag queen or being gay or anything. Like that figures into it naturally, but it's like it's more about a person trying to be famous.
Okay.
Because I think that's where their worth is at. And becoming a drag queen is like a big step into realizing who they are as a person, not just about their journey to like fame and attention. Like that's the kind of joke in the title. Everything's about Jamie. Everybody's talking about Jamie even.
Okay.
It looks good. Can we throw up the trailer again? Or will that be too much?
Oh, like I think too much because we don't have that much time, and we should maybe.
God!
talk.
Although I kind of want to throw up something that makes fun of Saya for a second.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Just to.
Hold on. Okay. Well, it's one that's basically doing a cover of Chandelier, but in a different way. And I'm pretty sure Roddy will know the guy who
I
does
have to
this.
admit that I actually like have zero knowledge of her music because I don't go
She
to
did
clubs.
She did songs like Plastic Art.
Yeah,
and Chandelier
I
that were
know
pretty big.
that she did some things because I can read here in chat, but honestly, it just doesn't involve me in any way. And
Well, thankfully, the thing I'm showing is very short, but it will make you laugh, or at least Roddy will laugh.
Bernie Gerns, dern, getting hurt, dirty, shitty, burn, dirty, burn, pursy, dern, ever. I'm the burn for the good term, curvins, bloody Bernie Merberger, I feel the let ever. Vern Dizzy, Bork, Vern Dizzy, Bork, Vern Dizzy, Bork, Bork and York and Jork. I'm gonna sing from the shirt to love her, from the shirt to love her. Gonna live like a Morgan exhort, like a Morgan exhort. Gonna fly.
Okay, I think we got that. We got the joke.
I will never not laugh at Swedish Chef.
Yeah.
Plus, Brock Baker's amazing. I have to say, like, amazing voice actor, actually.
I know. He's my dad. He's my dad.
My God, it makes so much sense now. But basically, yeah, most of her tunes are basically kind of like that anyway.
Yeah, I think that I've heard one song with like that there was the Shia LaBeouf was there.
Yeah, Plastic Heart, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
which,
I
think you mean actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, of course.
Which apparently the girl that was in it, who was in the film as well, when she was doing that scene with him, apparently she said he didn't wash, so he kind of smelled. Because there's a lot of scenes where they're on. There's a bit in the music video, quite a bit, where they just seem uncomfortably close. And I know it's going to be like a daughter-father thing, and I'm just like, this feels very uncomfortable. This music video, and I don't like.
Honestly, that feels exactly what, like, if you say that like he didn't wash, like that's exactly how I would like imagine that he prepared for that. Like to make it more real, to make it more raw. Let's go. It's like it fits. I mean, like I've seen
a creepy one. If you want a creepy one, so because I was whinging about this music film with my girlfriend, like she'd already read up on it a little bit, and apparently Sia was just really dead set on having Maddie Ziegler in her film, even though Maddie Ziegler herself was, and credit to her, she was like, I don't think I'm right for this role. Maybe you should find someone else. It's like, oh, okay, so she was very self-aware. But then Sia was like, no, I want you to be in this film. I'm going to become your legal guardian for a while, and you can sleep in the same bed as me.
I mean, I know she's used her as like her weird virtual avatar for all of her music videos these days, so then Saya doesn't have to appear in any of them. But that's just going to you're possibly creepier than Michael Jackson kind of thing going on right here.
I think it's about the same level of Jackson.
I mean, I also want to have like a lot of money so I can be creepy.
Would you want to be rich enough that you could afford to just take a child and make them sleep in your bed?
Not with kids. I mean, like with adults at least.
Do you want to be the child that's in the rich person's bed instead, actually? Because that is an option too.
Yeah, I will do that, like with Bill or Melinda. Doesn't matter.
So, Martin, tell me how much you miss Windows XP. Cuddle close, Martin.
I'm actually Vista guy. Not.
Call me Billy. Call me Billy.
I forget.
Call me
why
William.
am I friends with you guys again?
Hey, $1 billion. Billions.
Honestly, I'd do it for 10 grand.
Billions?
Billions. Okay, 10 grand. Yeah, that makes sense.
10 grand in a packet of crisps.
Well, I have a packet of crisps. By the way,
So-
like fucking,
so-
I need to. Okay, let's have a rant about this. Today I ordered a Burger King because they have hockey menu, which is really good price for all the things they actually throw in there, because there will be hockey championship. Well, so, and one of the things that they have there is this packet of Lay's chips. But
Walkers.
they stapled it on the back, so as you can see, it was stapled through.
Fuck off.
So basically, it's
That's bad.
opened before I opened
That's bad.
it.
Fuck off.
Like that's fine.
That's unhygienic. That's unhygienic as fuck.
Yeah.
Who knows what could have gone in there?
I mean, like it was stapled there, so it's like obviously just like stapled, like at the time, like just right before, because it was, you know, like just added here. But I needed to rip it off, so it lost its atmosphere, the protective atmosphere there, nitrogen. Fuck. So yeah, so
We need that to breathe in and get a good high.
Yeah, exactly. That's how nitrogen works. Exactly.
Yes, it's exactly how nitrogen works. Breathe in your crisp bag, kids.
Yes, of course. Hey, like James, do you have something else to talk about, or like, do you want to shit talk some other singer? Or
No. I got something good. Something I've been watching week per week on Amazon. It's finally ended, and I want to talk about it. So, boom.
Knock it off, Todd. I think Amber's been pretty clear about how she feels. I'm nothing like my dad. I want to be just like you.
I fought to keep this planet safe. Your power's got to be due any day now, son.
Morning. I'm scared, Dad. What if I can't do this?
Follow me. Slow down. Land. I said land. Stop! Get up.
I'm actually getting used to this a little.
That's not good.
You need to be better. After everything he's done, how can I live up to all that?
You need to decide what kind of hero you want to be.
That was you! In the blue and the yellow? Why don't you meet the team after school?
May we count on you in the future?
Yeah, I think so. And bored of this.
Son, we need to talk. What I'm about to tell you will change everything.
I wasn't ready before. now I am. You being a superhero is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Now take me flying or I'm gonna tell everyone you're invincible. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, dads. What do you think?
All I can say is it seems like, oh, hokey cokey, like young dude learn to be a superhero. Yeah, there's bits of that, but there's a hell of a lot more not being shown in that trailer for good fucking reason. Because remember, this is written by the guy that did The Walking Dead. So trust me, not everything.
Man, my favorite superhero, Kirkman. Kirkman. Putting shitty writing to rest with his pen of justice.
Admittedly, but Invincible Season 1, there's some changes from the book as well, admittedly. But it's also, damn good.
Get and Robert Kirkman in for the fucking Game of Thrones finale.
But at the same time, I'm also having to laugh at J.K. Simmons in another animated role, but he gets to still have a mustache.
Right.
I mean, it fits.
It does. I can say, if you've got Amazon Prime, please watch it. There's about 8 episodes, lots of amazing kind of cameos. Favorite I think he's called Alan the Alien, voiced by Seth Rogen, and he's interesting.
I think it's a great show to watch if anyone's a big fan of that show The Boys, or kind of takedowns of superheroes in general. Invincible will be right up your alley.
So you've seen it all, have you?
You're damn right, I have.
And of which, would you say watch the first episode and you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, as in you'll watch episode one, you're like,
watch the whole first episode and tell me you're not completely fucking hooked at the end.
Because you will be.
Okay.
Like, I actually guarantee you will be.
It's bloody as well. Like, the whole show is like, it's fairly
violent.
Intense. Fairly in there. Like, oh my goodness.
I mean,
animations.
Sorry.
The animation's a little bit janky. You'll probably have noticed that, Martin, with your experience. Like, it's very much like it's good. It's good animation, but they definitely cut corners, and I think that was to accommodate like an all-star cast, because it is an all-star cast.
Including, I'm forgetting his name, but he's been in stuff like Good Place.
Steven Yeun.
No, I'm talking about the guy that's in also. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Terry Crews.
No, crazy guy that Rosa dates.
Jason Mantzoukas,
who I love, and he's in this being Rex Explosion or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Yeah. But it's like you hear his voice and you're like, I'm seeing everything. I still love you. I mean, you sound the same, but I fucking love you.
He kind of needed to grow on me, like in all the shows that I've seen him in. But I started like get his kind of humor and get his kind of energy, and like when you get into it, like it works.
Especially when he's in Big Mouth, and Big Mouth is fantastic as well. Like I'd like to think everyone in
Big Mouth. It's so fucking accurate to how I felt the entire time.
Because you're going through changes.
Okay.
So basically, Martin, if you have time, of which I know you're completely busy right now, you're very busy. But if you do get time, watch Invincible. I think you'll like it. Episodes are about, 40 minutes an hour each?
I'm still getting to get my. I probably start if I like. I need to get the Prime. But when I probably start with Expanse first, honestly. And now, James has been disconnected from the Matrix.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay, then I wasn't sure. Like you,
I had one ear.
Yeah, it seems just like you were getting an orders from the Illuminates.
It's like, what was that? Yes, sure. Yeah. The world will come to an end in 2 minutes. Get to the bunker. I got you. Right. Okay. No, it's because I'm trying to hear out for the front bell right now because Flatmate's still moving stuff. So I'm just trying to keep it here because I said when about we'd end podcast. So
okay, so I will play the last thing, which is like in many things similar to Invincible, but in some other it is not. And you've seen it, I assume.
Don't say it. I'm not coming back.
Hugh. Is that really you?
Get off my cheek, Scary.
The war for your universe has begun. The time has come for you to free me. Otherwise, no one, past, present, or future, will survive.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Our journey leads to final space.
Yeah, Team Squad, yes! My first high five, and it was a threesome.
See, you stole something from me.
When you lost the Earth!
With you, run!
Leave the enemy alone!
For a second there, I thought it was...
I'm back!
Have I really sunk this low?
You sure have.
Unless the balance is restored, all will be lost. The walls holding them back are crumbling.
You cannot hold me. I'm coming.
Maldito! Good to see you.
Sup?
Yeah, what's up? So, hey, so...
Sup?
Yeah, sup. Okay.
Sup?
Yeah, sup.
Sup?
All right, sup.
Sup?
Can we stop this?
Sup?
Sup.
Sup?
Well, so I watched the second season because it took me some time. Like after the first season, like I really liked the first season, but then when I was like, it has the same problem as the first season, which is it's kind of difficult to get into it. Like for me at least, like the first season, like Gary was the most fucking annoying main character that I could have like imagined. Like I hated him like from the first like episode. I really hated him. Like he seemed like entitled, like responsible, like all the like bad qualities. And like you get why then, but you need to get through the fact that like he is really fucking annoying. And then the second season, there's like a lot of new characters and they are all fucking annoying from the beginning. And it's like, it's so difficult to get into it. But when you get into it, yeah, it's good. It's good when you get into it. But yeah, it's so difficult. It's really difficult to recommend this show.
It's kind of a weird one how it works because the characters aren't introduced to be likable. Is the thing. Like all their flaws are the first and foremost thing that you're introduced to, which is kind of a weird approach to take. It's counterintuitive to what you want. You want people to be sucked in. You want them to be relatable. You want them to be like paragons of something, or at least some kind of entertaining villain. But he is just a big fucking pretentious goof with like big aspirations to be the world's greatest, the universe's greatest hero, and he's clearly not. And then all his other characters are kind of self-serving or fucking each other over in certain ways, or just actually insane, like the floating robot thing that shows up. And that's like, it's really jarring. It's really jarring. It's really kind of odd. But when you're presented with the worst aspects of a character first, you kind of get an honest portrayal of someone. So that when they are given a situation they can't handle and how they overcome it, when you know exactly what their shortcomings are, it makes them way more endearing.
Yeah. And also, like, but that's the thing, like, it's, I would say that the first season starts being good in the third episode at the end, because there's a huge battle, and it's, like, started being epic. And that's the thing, like, the stakes suddenly, like, feel big. But that's, like, the problem of the show is sort of even its humor, because you don't know if you're supposed to take this situation seriously or not. Which is, like, you are not, like... Because sometimes the humorous parts are just played for a joke, and sometimes they have like a huge impact on the story. And it's like you don't know which are the like it's supposed to be funny just for, to be funny, and which is supposed to be funny because it's like a huge plot point. And it's like weird in this way. Also, like a lot of things seems to me like they are introduced and they want to make the character face some kind of, I would say, experience. They should have some kind of experience, and they like make it really fast through. They lead them really fast through that experience. It's like we need this specific development for this character. Let's give him like really simple story in which this whole thing happens. Like for example, there's a Likato when he's in the like time crystal. Basically, like the time is like moving faster than, and he experienced the thing. And it's like, first of all, it doesn't have any impact at the end, I would even say. But then it's like a huge development that goes it feels like this whole show feels like it's made by people with like great ideas and like sometimes great executions, but otherwise it's a fucking mess. It's such a mess. I mean, I still like it. I like really like it, but the flaws are obvious there. Like it has a lot of flaws. This thing.
But I think the flaws make the charm. I would
say like
these things are bad, but yet there's something in it that will still keep you watching.
Yeah, but because I would say the difference there is like because they are willing to take risks. Like if the flaws weren't there, like the good parts wouldn't be there as well. Because like first of all, even the like again the first season, I would actually say that it's stronger. Like I would say it's stronger. Like it feels because you have a certain expectation from the story, and then it like gets really dark really fast. And it's like even how it works with the character, that like they are not afraid to kill characters. Which means that like when something is happening bad, I was like, okay, like this could be actually it. Like this character is actually dead, and they actually kill the character. Like fuck.
I'm kind of intrigued about third season's coming soon at some point, and it's more the fact they're bringing back a villain, because I know that voice in one of the trailers.
Yeah.
I know it's a David Tennant.
Yeah,
I know he's coming back, and I'm down for that shit.
Yeah, and it's like as I said, like I would really recommend it, but it's flawed show. It's a flawed show, so it's like it takes some time to get through it.
Would you recommend everyone that has Netflix that hasn't seen it to give it a chance?
Yeah, I would say like the first season until the like end of episode 3, and like if you don't get like hooked by then, like just like don't watch the rest.
Watch Rick and Morty like everyone else and be smart.
Or be brave and try PD.
making fun of people watching Rick and Morty is as much of non-statement as watching Rick and Morty.
Ha! Joke's on you. I watched Rick and Morty, and I'm a fucking idiot.
I watch it ironically.
I mean, like I watch it. I would actually argue that they changed a lot in the like better ways. Like for example, how they portray Rick as a more problematic person. Like they because like in the early seasons, it was always like he's always right. Like at the end, he's always right. And
but in this case, no, he's flawed as fuck.
Yeah, but like now in these like seasons, it's actually shown like he's actually like not just like asshole that is always right. He's like he's sometimes right, and also he's kind of a miserable fuck. That's all that he is.
Think at this point, it's more like this is a walking corpse with electrodes in him, and you're kind of wondering when's that gonna stop. And what's going to happen?
I mean, like, it's fun.
And you keep watching to see if it does.
I mean, it got woke at some points. Yeah. I mean, like, Dan Harmon is really, like, I would say.
I love Dan Harmon's stuff, like everything, like from Community. And Community is, I still hold in high regard. It's an awesome show.
I watched a shit ton of Harmontown, like his podcast. I don't know if you.
I forget which one's the one where he talks about D&D, or is that the same thing in that show as well?
Yeah, like he's just like the concept itself is great. It's just like once a week he does live podcast, basically just recording with an audience, and it's like I was thinking like that's great thing to do. And when he just like talks about stuff, like about his life, about shows, about.
Recently, he was in the news again because apparently people are trying to get him cancelled. Well, again, for stuff he did in the late 2000s, which was a bad joke, and he admits it, and he's ashamed of it. And
the baby fucker.
Yeah, but we're just meant to be in the style of Dexter, and I think we've all had the thing of bad jokes that are just like, okay, we've gone too far. We really have.
But
we've all had that.
But honestly, like with this, like getting cancelled, like let's face it, it's not. It doesn't work as like people think it works. It's usually people are, you know, if you have this position like at Adult Swim, yeah, that's like they don't give a fuck this way. Like not Adult Swim, and also like Dan Harmon. I would say that you can just take any of his Harmontown, and he always says something that is like really stupid. That like he shouldn't say that. So like if you're trying to cancel him for something he done in like 2000, when you can cancel him for something that he said a week ago, like why?
It's more the it just seems to rear its head occasionally, which makes me think, why now again have they taken out when it was talked about years ago? And he's still going, and he's a different person for then. It's the same thing that happened. Okay, maybe different context to things like James Gunn, and he admits, I said stupid shit. I hold up to it.
Hey, the thing is,
kind of paid for that.
Like, I mean, at the end, it's all because like we are just talking about it because like people click it. That's the whole thing. Like if you just take a celebrity, just write cancel culture next to it, and that's 100,000 clicks. You know, like just by doing that. You know, like
Cameron Diaz cancel culture?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love it.
I mean, she's already retired, but I certainly didn't like the way she sexually molested that car windshield.
What?
Oh, we're saving that for next week.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna need a week.
Okay.
To get the context of all this. What the fuck?
Okay, guys. I guess that we can actually finish this beautiful, beautiful thing, which is our friendship. So fuck you and like okay. So
hate you too, buddy. Hate you too.
Okay, have a great evening. Great moving out. Well, like not your moving out, but I know
as a me.
Yeah, helping moving out, and also I really hope the Apex thing gets better, and you will learn to love again.
I will, but thank you.
Yeah, and of course, I need to thank to our audience, to our commenters, to our lovely people. Thank you very much, and see you next time.